What's happening, guys? Neil here from Bookie Insiders. Just wanted to run through a few of the anytime goal scorer bets that have caught my eye this morning. The first game I'm going to look at is Eintracht Frankfurt v Shakhtar Donetsk. The first leg between these two ended as a 2-2 draw. So considering Frankfurt got the two away goals, Shakhtar are going to need to chase the game, and they're going to need to score at least once if they're going to have any chance of progressing to the next round. So I'm anticipating a fairly open game between these two. Shakhtar are also no strangers to the competition and have a fantastic record under Paulo Fonseca. He has managed Shakhtar in 9 Europa League games. They've won 7, drawn 1, lost 1, and have scored 24 goals in those 9 games. So we should expect more attacking football as they chase this one. So the two players that are on my radar for this game are Junior Moraes, he's the centre forward for Shakhtar Donetsk, and Marlos, he plays right wing. So Junior Moraes, he is averaging 0.73 goals per game in the Ukrainian Premier League and in European competitions this season, and he has an XG, expected goals, average of 0.7 per game. He's priced at 2.7, best priced with Betway, I believe. So that's going to be a 1 unit play. Junior Moraes 2.7 to score, and the second bet from that game is going to be a 0.5 unit play. It's on Marlos. Marlos has averaged 0.47 goals per game across European competitions and the Ukrainian Premier League, and he's also Shakhtar's designated penalty taker, which is always important to consider when you're betting on anytime goal scorers, and especially when VAR is being used. He'll also be a threat if Shakhtar get any free kicks around the edge of the area. Although he doesn't exclusively take all their free kicks, he will be an option for them. Next up is Inter Milan v Rapid Vienna, and my play for this one is Lautaro Martinez to score at 2.2. That's available with most. Inter are carrying a 1-0 lead from the first leg in Austria, so Rapid Vienna are going to need to score. They can't afford to play an uber defensive damage limitation game. They will need to play football, so I'm imagining chances will come Inter's way. Martinez will be playing centre forward once again in Icardi's absence, and will presumably be on penalty duty as well. Martinez played this season in all competitions. Martinez has played 75 plus minutes only 6 times, and in those games where he has featured heavily, he's scored 4 times. Also, in Martinez's last 3 appearances when he's actually played as a centre forward, we can see his total expected goals of 1.55 through 165 minutes of play, which is pretty decent output. Also, we have to consider the opponent here. Rapid Vienna haven't kept a clean sheet in any of their last 8 Europa League outings, and in their last 2 tough, if you want to say, away group games, they conceded 3 against Rangers, and Villarreal put 5 past them. So certainly won't rule out Inter scoring 2 or 3 here and Martinez getting on the score sheet. Okay, so next up is Bayer Leverkusen v Krasnodar. This one ended 0-0 in Russia, so Leverkusen will be hoping to capitalise on home turf. As I mentioned in my preview for this game, Krasnodar tend not to travel well in Europe, like most Russian sides, especially at this time of year. They've actually lost their last 5 away games against teams from top 5 leagues, so that's teams from England, Germany, Italy, Spain or France. Also, we need to mention that Leverkusen look like a different team under Peter Bosz. They've been playing fantastic, attractive attacking football. So my pick here for this one is Kevin Volland to score at 2.3. Seems like an obvious bet. Play centre forward. Bellarabi's going to be missing, so he's definitely going to be the focal point for Leverkusen's attack. Volland has played every minute of the Bundesliga and Europa League since Peter Bosz took charge, and is expected to start centre forward with Leon Bailey and Julian Brandt on either side of him. Since Bosz took charge as well, it's worth noting that Volland he scored twice in 6 games, which isn't great, but his expected goals per game is decent at 0.43. Also, since Bosz has taken over, we've seen 1.92 expected goals per game, so I'd be very surprised if Leverkusen don't score a few here, and even more surprised if Volland isn't on the score sheet. So more than happy to take Volland at 2.3 to score in this game. Next up is Red Bull Salzburg v Club Brugge. I'm going to be playing Dabur at 2.1 to score. Salzburg are trailing 2-1 from the first leg in Belgium, so they will be chasing the game. They need to score if they're going to have a chance of progressing. As we know from last season, Salzburg have a wonderful home record and are incredibly difficult to beat, even for some of the top teams that visited here last season. I don't know if you remember, but they put 4 past Lazio and 2 past Marseille. Not to mention this season, they put 3 past Celtic. They hammered Rosenborg, put another 3 past them, and then they beat their sister club, Red Bull Leipzig, 1-0. So why De Boer? De Boer leads the Europa League for goals scored. He scored 6 already. He has the highest expected goals of any player in the competition. He is he is Salzburg's penalty taker, designated penalty taker. And no player in the competition is managing more shots from open play than Dabur. So I see value here in the 2.1, and that will be my final play for today. So just to recap, we are taking in the Shakhtar v Frankfurt game, Moraes to score at 2.7. That's a 1 unit play. Marlos to score at 4.0. That's a half a unit play. Then from Bayer Leverkusen v Krasnodar, we're taking Kevin Volland to score. He's available at 2.3. In the Inter v Rapid Vienna game, we're taking Lautaro Martinez to score at 2.2. And finally, in RB Salzburg v Club Brugge, we're playing Dabur to score at 2.1. Oh, sorry, not to mention every bet besides Marlos is a 1 unit play. Okay, so thanks for listening, and if you enjoyed the video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe. Thank you.